Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'll be reviewing Sony's Bravia 5 Mini LED TV. The Bravia 5 is part of Sony's 2025 lineup, which also includes the entry-level Bravia 2 MK2 and Bravia 8 MK2. There are also 3 carryover models from 2024 that include the Bravia 3, 7, and 9. For this review, I evaluated the 85-inch model. The Bravia 5, which is also known as the XR50, is available in 55, 65, 75, 85, and 98-inch screen sizes. The XR50 is a replacement for the popular Sony X90L, and I will briefly compare the two models later in this video. But first, I want to cover the design and features of this TV. The XR50 has a sleek design with thin bezels, giving it a modern appearance that will fit well with most room decor. The back of the TV is made of plastic with a checkerboard pattern with the inputs on the left side of the TV. The overall build quality of this TV is solid and doesn't feel cheaply made. The TV has 2 adjustable metal feet that easily snap into place. Setting the feet to the lower position gives the panel the best stability. The XR50 utilizes full-array mini LED backlighting with local dimming, featuring 6 times the number of dimming zones as the X90L, depending on the screen size. The mini LEDs used in the XR50 are controlled by Sony's XR Backlight Master Drive technology. Sony's picture processing has held a reputation for delivering some of the best processing in the business, and Sony continues this tradition with the XR processor used in this TV. This processor features an AI scene recognition system that now detects and analyzes images with even greater accuracy, optimizing the picture for deeper realism for a more lifelike viewing experience. This processor also contains Sony's XR Contrast Booster 10, which balances light output across the screen for great brightness and contrast. It also contains Sony's XR Clear Image that upscales lower res content to recreate lost texture and detail. For color reproduction, Sony's XR TRILUMINOS Pro delivers precise colors and reproduces them with better accuracy and a more natural color palette. For motion control, this TV has XR Motion Clarity for blur reduction and smoother motion. For your smart TV entertainment, this TV uses the Google TV interface, which allows you to browse over 700,000 movies and TV episodes from across your streaming services, all in one place and organized into topics and genres based on your interests. For more features info, check out the description section. Up next, connectivity. The XR50 is equipped with 4 HDMI inputs, 2 of which are 2.1 and the other 2 are 2.0. The 2.1 inputs handle up to 4K at 120 Hz signals. Sony continues to be the only major manufacturer that doesn't provide HDMI 2.1 on all of its HDMI inputs. The XR50 has 3 USB ports, one is USB 3.0 compliant. You also get 1 digital optical audio output, 1 3.5mm audio output, and an Ethernet input. This TV also has an ATSC 3.0 next-gen tuner for over-the-air 4K TV broadcast. There's also eARC support on HDMI input 3, and for wireless connectivity, the TV uses Wi-Fi 6. Now moving on to performance. I was surprised at the level of picture quality this mid-range model brings to the table. The Bravia 5 served up very good detail and clarity, resulting in sharp and refined images. Color reproduction was also appealing, delivering a vibrant, lifelike, and accurate color palette, although not the best I've seen from other TVs in its class. I also want to note that this TV doesn't have a QLED panel, so you won't get the extra vibrancy and pop that Quantum Dots have to offer. The picture quality attributes just mentioned were all evident in a 4K HDR clip from the movie Lucy, which is one of my go-to movies for picture evaluation. Generally speaking, the XR50 delivered decent contrast, allowing for deep black levels during dark and low-light scenes, making it a solid choice for watching movies in a dark room. However, you may experience some blooming in dark scenes with bright objects. The brightness of these objects will cause the surrounding black areas to appear grayish. This is due to how the TV controls its mini LED zones, which should be more precise. Moving on to picture brightness. With SDR content, the XR50 had very good peak brightness output, which makes it a good TV for viewing in a bright room, and it does a decent job resisting glare from indirect lighting. On the other hand, the XR50's HDR peak brightness is adequate at best, and depending on what you are watching, the TV will give you some small bright highlights with a noticeable level of pop, yet nowhere near the levels of a TV with excellent HDR peak brightness output. So with that being said, if you want a TV that delivers a top-notch HDR viewing experience, you will need to look elsewhere. Now, let's talk about the XR50's motion handling capabilities. Going back to the movie Lucy, there's a car chase scene through the streets of Paris which highlights lots of fast-paced action. During these scenes, I didn't see any motion blur or any other motion artifacts. So, with this level of performance, I would say this TV does a good job with motion clarity. Next, for viewing angle performance, this TV suffers from a noticeable loss of contrast and color saturation when viewed off-axis or at wide viewing angles, which is typical of TVs that use VA panels. Up next, gaming. I'm not much of a video gamer, so I never go in-depth about a TV's gaming performance. However, I typically do a high overview of any given TV's gaming performance from info gathered during my research. That being said, the XR50 is an okay TV for gaming. It has HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, delivering 4K at 120 Hz, VRR, and auto low latency mode. It also has very low input lag for responsive gaming. You also get a game menu as well as auto HDR tone mapping. Moving on to sound quality. The Bravia 5 has a balanced sound profile across the mid and high frequencies. The sound output can reach high levels without distortion, while keeping dialogue clear and intelligible. Overall, the quality of sound was a bit thin and lean with a lack of bass output. I recommend using a soundbar with this TV, which will give you a better audio experience. Now onto the brief comparison I mentioned earlier between the Sony XR50 and the Sony X90L. The following info is from ratings.com. The X90L is better overall than the XR50. The X90L is brighter overall, providing a more impactful HDR experience and making it better suited for a well-lit room. Colors are also brighter and punchier on the X90L, and they're more accurate out of the box. On the other hand, the XR50 has slightly better contrast, lower input lag, and less stutter. But all of these things are minor, and the X90L is the better option for almost anyone. In conclusion, the Sony Bravia 5 is a decent 4K TV. I found the overall picture quality to be satisfying for a TV in its mid-range class. It delivered sharp and detailed picture images and provided very good 4K upscaling. The TV's color palette provided vibrant and satisfying SDR color accuracy out of the box, although I believe HDR content will appear much better after calibrating the TV. Furthermore, the TV's mini LEDs delivered good contrast and black levels. On the downside, the XR50 doesn't pump out enough peak brightness for optimal HDR viewing, and when viewing the TV at wide angles, the TV loses some contrast and color saturation. The Sony Bravia 5 is a solid choice for many consumers looking for a brand-name TV with good picture quality and the essential features for an enjoyable viewing experience. It won't give you premium picture quality, nor was it designed to do so. You will have to move up to Sony's Bravia 7 or 9 for that level of picture quality if you want to stay with the Sony brand. That being said, you can get more bang for your buck going with the current Hisense U7 series or the TCL QM7K series. For additional features found on the Bravia 5, check out the description section. If you found the content in this video informative, please like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for upcoming tech videos. Thanks for watching.